Have you ever sat down for breakfast, thinking you were making a healthy choice, only to feel tired, bloated, or just plain sluggish by mid-morning? You're not alone. For many of us over 60, breakfast doesn't always do what it's supposed to: give us energy, support our digestion, and set us up for a great day. And the surprising truth? Some of the so-called healthy breakfast foods we've trusted for years might be working against us. Now, I'm not saying you have to toss out everything in your kitchen, but making a few simple changes, especially first thing in the morning, can have a huge impact on how you feel all day long. More energy, better focus, happier digestion. And who doesn't want that? In this video, we're going to talk about 4 breakfast foods you might want to avoid, yes, even if they've been a part of your routine for years, and 4 that can actually boost your energy, support heart health, and help you feel more vibrant at any age. So let's start with one food that sneaks into almost every breakfast table and often hides behind a healthy label: breakfast cereals. You know, the ones. The boxes that claim to be whole grain or heart healthy, with big bold letters and smiling cartoon characters. The problem? Most cereals, even the so-called healthy ones, are packed with added sugars and processed grains that spike your blood sugar and leave you crashing later. This is especially tough for folks in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, because our bodies just aren't as quick to bounce back from those sugar spikes. Over time, this kind of breakfast can contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, and even memory problems. And here's the kicker: even the ones that say low sugar often replace it with artificial sweeteners that mess with your gut and can actually make sugar cravings worse. So what seems like a light, easy breakfast might actually be setting you up for inflammation, energy dips, and poor focus. Instead, think about how you can nourish your body with real food, something that keeps you full, satisfied, and steady. And that brings me to one of the best breakfast swaps you can make: a warm bowl of old-fashioned oatmeal. Now, I'm not talking about the instant packets with fruit flavoring and sugar. I mean rolled oats or steel-cut oats that you cook yourself in water or milk. Add a few slices of banana, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a handful of chopped nuts, and now, you've got a breakfast that fuels your brain, supports your heart, and keeps you feeling satisfied for hours. Oats are full of soluble fiber, especially a type called beta-glucan, which helps lower cholesterol. They also help stabilize blood sugar so you don't get those nasty crashes. And the best part? They're easy on your digestion and kind to your heart. 2 things that matter more than ever as we get older. Now, while we're on the topic of healthy foods that might not be so healthy, let's talk about fruit juices. A glass of orange juice with breakfast might feel like a refreshing choice, and maybe you've had that habit for decades. But here's the honest truth: fruit juice is basically just sugar water, even if it's freshly squeezed. See, when you eat a whole orange, you're getting the natural sugar along with fiber, which slows down how fast that sugar hits your bloodstream. But with juice, you're drinking the sugar without the fiber, and it floods your system quickly. That can lead to a big energy spike followed by a crash, and over time, it puts extra stress on your pancreas and liver. Not what we want, especially in our golden years. Instead, try starting your day with a piece of whole fruit like an apple, some berries, or a small banana. These provide vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber, all working together to support your immune system, improve digestion, and give you lasting energy without the crash. Berries are especially great for brain health. Blueberries in particular are like little superheroes for your memory and focus, thanks to their rich antioxidant content. Just half a cup on your oatmeal or on the side of some Greek yogurt can make a big difference. Speaking of Greek yogurt, that's another breakfast food you might want to lean into more often. But we'll talk about that shortly. First, let's check in. How does your breakfast normally make you feel? Energized? Or tired again by AM? Because when breakfast leaves you feeling off, it's usually your body's way of sending a signal. And if we can learn to really listen, we can make changes that help us feel better, not just today, but long term. We've already looked at cereals and fruit juices. 2 things that sound innocent, but can have a surprising impact on your energy, blood sugar, and overall well-being. So, what's next? Let's keep going, because the next food is one that's a staple in many breakfast routines, but it might be doing more harm than good. Now, this next one might surprise you, but because it's often seen as a wholesome or protein-rich breakfast. I'm talking about processed meats like bacon, sausages, and even deli ham. Now, don't get me wrong, I know how comforting it is to smell bacon sizzling in the pan, especially on a chilly morning. It's familiar, it's nostalgic, and yes, it tastes good. But when it comes to your health after 60, this is one of those foods that can quietly cause damage behind the scenes. You see, these processed meats are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and chemicals like nitrates, which have been linked to increased risk of heart disease and certain cancers. As we get older, our arteries naturally stiffen a bit, and our risk of high blood pressure goes up. Add a salty, fatty breakfast meat to the mix, and it's a recipe for trouble, especially if you're eating it regularly. Not to mention, processed meats often come with unhealthy saturated fats that can raise your LDL, or bad cholesterol. That puts extra strain on your heart and increases inflammation throughout your body. And let's face it, at this stage in life, we want food that's working for us, not against us. So, what's the better option? Try swapping those processed meats for something like eggs, real, whole eggs. For years, eggs got a bad rap because of cholesterol concerns, but we now know that for most people, eating eggs in moderation is perfectly fine. In fact, eggs are one of the best breakfast foods for seniors. They're packed with protein, vitamin B12, and choline, which is fantastic for brain health. Scramble them with a few veggies, make a simple omelet, or even boil a couple in advance so they're ready to go in the morning. Eggs are easy to digest, keep you feeling full, and help maintain muscle mass, which is so important as we age. And here's a tip. If you're watching your cholesterol closely, you can use one whole egg and a few extra egg whites to lighten it up while still getting that satisfying texture and flavor. Now, while we're thinking about smarter swaps, let's revisit that Greek yogurt I mentioned earlier, because this is one of those foods that really shines in a senior-friendly diet. But there's a catch. Not all yogurts are created equal. Many flavored yogurts, especially the fruity ones with bright packaging, are loaded with added sugars. Some even have more sugar than a candy bar. So while you might think you're doing something good for your gut, you could be overloading your system with hidden sugars and artificial ingredients. And just like those sugary cereals and fruit juices, this can mess with your energy levels, weight, and insulin response. The better choice? Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. It's thick, creamy, and high in protein, almost twice as much as regular yogurt. Plus, it's packed with probiotics that support a healthy gut, and we now know that gut health plays a huge role in everything from digestion to mood to immune function. If plain yogurt feels a little too, well, plain, don't worry. You can dress it up naturally. Add some fresh berries, a spoonful of chia seeds or ground flax, maybe a drizzle of honey, if you like a little sweetness. Now, you've got a breakfast that feels indulgent, but is actually fueling your body in all the right ways. And speaking of things that seem healthy, but might not be, have you ever grabbed a granola bar or breakfast bar on a busy morning and thought, hey, at least it's something? You're not alone. These bars are convenient, they travel well, and many are marketed as a healthy option. But take a closer look at that ingredients label next time. You'll often find a long list of unpronounceable ingredients, lots of sugar, and not nearly enough real nutrition to start your day right. Instead of reaching for a packaged bar, try making your own quick breakfast bites. Even something as simple as half a sliced avocado on whole grain toast can be more nourishing. Avocados are full of healthy fats, fiber, potassium, and vitamins like E and B6. They help keep your heart healthy, your digestion smooth, and your skin glowing. And they're incredibly satisfying, so you won't be hunting for a snack an hour later. A little sprinkle of hemp seeds or sunflower seeds on top adds crunch and an extra dose of healthy fats and minerals. That's the kind of breakfast that loves you back. Now, let's pause for a moment and take this in. What we eat in the morning truly sets the tone for the entire day. It can either energize us or drain us. It can either support our aging bodies or slowly chip away at our health. And the beautiful thing, we don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Small, simple changes like switching from flavored yogurt to plain, or from bacon to eggs, can have a huge ripple effect on how we feel. And when you start your day with intention, your whole day flows better. Your energy is steadier, your mood is brighter, your digestion is happier. It's not about being perfect, it's about making choices that support the version of you that you want to be. We've gone through a few powerful swaps already, and there are still a couple more that can make a big difference in your breakfast routine. One more breakfast food I want to talk about today is one you might not think twice about. It's toast. Now, I'm not saying bread is the enemy, but what kind of bread you're eating really does matter, especially after 60. White bread, which is made from refined flour, is stripped of most of its fiber and nutrients. It digests quickly, spikes your blood sugar, and leaves you hungry again not long after. That's not what we want, especially when stable blood sugar and good digestion are key to feeling sharp, steady, and energized throughout the day. So, instead of white toast or bagels made with refined flour, consider switching to a high-fiber, whole grain bread. Even better? Look for something with sprouted grains. These are easier to digest, have more bioavailable nutrients, and are less likely to cause that mid-morning crash. Spread on some almond butter or mashed avocado, add a sprinkle of cinnamon or a slice of tomato, and you've got a breakfast that's not only tasty, but nourishing from the inside out. Speaking of almond butter, that brings us to the final breakfast food you should be eating more often: nuts and seeds. Whether it's almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax, or sunflower seeds, these little powerhouses are full of healthy fats, fiber, protein, and minerals like magnesium and zinc that support brain function, heart health, and even joint comfort. Just a tablespoon of chia seeds stirred into yogurt or a few walnuts crushed over oatmeal can make a real difference. Plus, they help keep you full longer, which means less snacking on sugary or processed foods later in the day. And that adds up, especially when you're trying to maintain a healthy weight, keep your blood sugar in check, and feel more in control of your cravings. So now that we've walked through these breakfast upgrades together, let's take a moment to reflect. Because it's easy to overlook breakfast when you've got a lifetime of habits behind you. Maybe you've been eating the same cereal every day for 30 years. Or maybe you skip breakfast altogether and just grab a coffee. But the truth is, our bodies change as we age. What worked in our 30s or 40 seconds might not be doing us any favors now. And that's okay. In fact, it's empowering. Because once we know better, we can do better. And you don't have to do it all at once. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe tomorrow, instead of pouring a glass of orange juice, you reach for a handful of blueberries. Maybe you swap your white toast for a slice of sprouted grain with a little almond butter. Small changes, one at a time. And the beauty is, your body will notice. Your energy will lift. Your digestion will improve. You might sleep better. You might even find yourself feeling just a little more optimistic throughout the day. That's the power of starting your morning in a way that truly supports your health, your vitality, and your future. Because here's the thing, life after 60 isn't about slowing down. It's about choosing what fuels you, what uplifts you, and what keeps you feeling vibrant. And breakfast is your chance to send that message to your body every single day. You matter. Your health matters. Your energy matters. So, what's going on your plate tomorrow morning? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorite breakfast rituals or new ideas you're excited to try. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We've got so many more uplifting, practical tips coming your way to help you live your healthiest, happiest life at any age. Take care of yourself. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel strong. And remember, every morning is a brand new opportunity to start fresh. Here's to living well, one delicious breakfast at a time.